Welcome to ATMC TV, our high school football game of the week. Just a few minutes away from the opening kickoff, we have the West Brunswick Trojans, your host tonight, against the North Brunswick Scorpions. Trojans enter the game 2-1 after dropping a contest at Hoggard last week. North Brunswick 1-1 defeated Ashley 20-8 and coming into tonight's game with some momentum.
Yeah, they played real well last week, Sam. They were down 8-0 at the half, and they came back to score 20 second-half points. Most of those points were in the latter part of the third quarter. So R.J. Green got it going through the air with a couple of touchdown passes, and Mapson had a touchdown run. So nice victory by North coming into this very important 3A game with West Brunswick.
Boy, Jay, I know it's only week 4, but we have some major implications. The winner of this game will still be right there with New Hanover and Topsail as far as earning the league's automatic 3A playoff berth. Stay with us here on ATMC TV. We'll have all the action for you tonight. Jake Holmes, we are almost set for the start of the game. North Brunswick won the toss, deferred to the second half, so the Trojans will receive the opening kickoff. A heavy, heavy wind here tonight at M.H. Rourke Stadium. We'll see if that has an impact, particularly in the kicking game. West Brunswick 2-1, North Brunswick 1-1. Again, major implications for the 3A playoffs.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a little homecoming tonight.
For those of you, just tuning in, we're having some technical difficulties. Jay, I think we might be working through it here.
Sam, I think the technical difficulties are over.
I think those days are behind us, partner.
Just like Ohio State's basketball season is over.
You know, I was wondering how long we were going to make it tonight without having a bracket reference, and as it turns out, it came before the opening kickoff.
Jeez, Whiz Oral, Roberts, you just killed me.
So North Brunswick in those shiny, beautiful gold helmets will kick off to the Trojans. West Brunswick in white breeches, green tops, green helmets with the white wings. North Brunswick in, Jay, are we calling that gray? Gray pants, white jerseys, a little blue trim, and again,
the Scorps,
the Notre Dame-like helmets.
Those are sharp-looking unis, let me tell you. Did we read something about Under Armour taking over up there?
Yeah, 3-year contract. Yeah. So all the Scorpions athletic teams will now wear Under Armour. Opening kickoff is a short one. I think that's Patrick Vereen who received it, looking for running room, and a good tackle there on the kickoff team by North Brunswick's number 23. Is that Stafford?
Yeah, get ready, Sam. You're going to say his name a ton tonight from his defensive linebacker position, a really, really outstanding tackler.
And, Jay, West Brunswick probably eager to get back onto the field after what happened to the Trojans last week, a 27-0 defeat at the hands of the undefeated Hoggard Vikings. North Brunswick was 20-8 winners over Ashley. So West Brunswick 2-1, North Brunswick 1-1. Should be a good one between Brunswick County rivals tonight.
And an important game in terms of 3A playoff possibilities.
Monzel Campbell going to keep this one around the left side, still on his feet, but brought down at about the 29-yard line. So Campbell gets 2 yards on first down. We'll set up a 2nd and 8 from the 29.
And again, another stop that time by Kenton Stafford and number 1, Marquise Willis, who is an outstanding player as well from the defensive secondary. 10 tackles on the season and a forced fumble.
And, Jay, this is the second time we've had North Brunswick in as many weeks. We were in Leland last Tuesday when the Scorpions competed against South Brunswick in the opening game for both teams. Campbell's got a little running room partner, lowers his shoulder, knocked out of bounds at about the 44-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a West Brunswick first down. So, Jay, I think it was a pass play. Campbell saw an opening, took off around the right side, picked up about 10 yards and a West Brunswick first down.
Well, the smart play by Monzel that time. One of the things that plagued West last week in that tough loss to Hoggard was holding on to the football, 4 turnovers. So Campbell doing the smart thing that time, just tucking it away and picking up the first down.
West Brunswick on this 1st and 10 from the 39 looks to be in an empty backfield. Campbell barking out instructions to his offensive lineman. Avery Clemens, the lone receiver, to the bottom, 3 to the top. There's a screen to Cobb around the left side. Cobb's got running room, still on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line at the 31. 30 yards on the throw from Monzel Campbell to J.J. Cobb. Trojans in business early.
Well, you want to get the ball to your playmakers, and J.J. Cobb has that potential for sure, Sam. Electrifying speed, a 5'6", 160-pound sophomore. That's his 6th catch of the year. And he's a good one, but you got to get the ball to him in space where he can do something, use that speed.
10.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. West Brunswick with a 1st and 10 at the 31. Trojans moving from left to right on your screen. It's going to be a quarterback power. Campbell still on his feet somehow, lowers his shoulder. Finally wrestled down inside the 25-yard line. I think they're going to rule him down, Jay, at, we're going to see where it's marked, the 23-yard line. So 8 yards on first down by senior quarterback Monzel Campbell. West Brunswick will have a 2nd and 2 from the North Brunswick 23.
Campbell, he's very elusive. He's not tremendously big. I mean, he's average size, but he's just kind of got that knack of knowing where the tacklers are coming from and evading them.
Johnny Magby on the carry. He's wrestled down across the 20-yard line at about the 18. So 5 yards on the 2nd and 2 play and another West Brunswick first down. So an impressive opening drive by West Brunswick. Still some work to do. Trojans facing a 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of the Scorpions.
Well, Magby with 96 yards on the ground coming into tonight's game. He's also caught 8 passes, so he's a principal offensive weapon for the Trojans this season.
Campbell looks to the sideline for the play, flanked in the backfield by Magby. It's a stop route to Locke Murphy. Murphy hit, still on his feet. Finally wrestled down by number 3, Jaden Granda. But the pitch and catch from Monzel Campbell to Locke Murphy complete. I believe Murphy's ruled down at the 14-yard line, so a gain of 4 will set up a 2nd and 6 from inside the 15-yard line of the Scorp.
Yeah, nothing fancy by the Trojans. Campbell getting rid of the ball quick, and Locke Murphy, his second catch of the year. Murphy, an outstanding place kicker and seeing time as a wide receiver for the Trojans this season.
A stiff breeze here inside the stadium tonight. Just kind of swirling around, partner. I'm trying to find some flags, but blowing pretty good at the moment. There's a pop pass to Cobb, and he is snuffed out. Number 10, Tate Davis, brings him down. Officially, Jay, a complete pass and a loss of 2 yards back to the 16. So West Brunswick knocked off schedule a bit there. It'll be a 3rd and 8 from the 16-yard line of the Scorpions.
Well, Tate Davis played that like a coach's son. That's because he is a coach's son. Brian Davis, the head coach for North Brunswick, and Davis made an outstanding play, not letting the elusive J.J. Cobb get around the corner. So 3rd and 8 for the Trojans. Big play here. Big play for both teams.
7:55 left in the opening quarter, 3rd and 8. And, Jay, I believe the Trojans didn't get that one in quick enough. It's going to be a delay of game penalty on West Brunswick. So what was a 3rd and 8 from the 16 will now be a 3rd and 13 from the 21-yard line.
Well, that's one of those things that, Coach Hickman's talked about. What's important? What do we got to do to win? He says we got to block, we got to tackle, no turnovers, and eliminate mistakes, eliminate penalties. That one hurts a 3rd and 8, which is, a tough one. Now a 3rd and 13, entirely different setup.
West Brunswick been very methodical getting the plays in. Campbell in the shotgun. Magby flanks him. Campbell's going to keep it, try to run around the left side, but he is brought down at the line of scrimmage, I believe. Maybe gained a half yard. And, Jay, I think West Brunswick is going to bring on its field goal team. Locke Murphy, who also plays receiver, handles the kicking duties for the Trojans. It'll be about a 38-yarder. From here.
Alex Score will hold. 55, Weston Sharp is the long snapper, and as you said, Sam Locke Murphy, the senior, will be out for the field goal opportunity.
And, Jay, 38 well within his range, but it is a stiff breeze in his face. And that one's no good. Misses wildly off to the left. Think North Brunswick may have got a hand on it. So I don't know whether to chalk that one up as a block kick. But North Brunswick's defense, Benz, certainly doesn't break there on the first drive. Jay, West Brunswick had a 1st and 10 at the 18, got 4 yards on first down to set up a 2nd and 6. Tried a pop pass to J.J. Cobb, lost 2 yards, and from there it was all North Brunswick on that drive.
Well, again, the 3rd and 8 versus the 3rd and 13, a different down and distance situation, and the mistakes may have cost the Trojans a chance for 3 points there. Well, they had the chance, they just weren't able to convert it. Let's see what the Scorps can do with R.J. Green, the quarterback.
North Brunswick tries to find some running room on first down. Yeah. Guess who on the tackle, Jay? And it was a big couple of weeks for middle linebacker number 44, Carter Wyatt. Tell us a little bit about Wyatt and what transpired the last week or two.
The easiest thing with Wyatt is to say what schools have not offered him, right? But of late, Georgia Tech, Duke, all of the military academies, a couple of Ivy League schools, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, everybody that knows something about football at the collegiate level is waking up to seeing how good this kid is.
We got a flag on the field.
Got a flag on the field. Waiting on the call from the official.
We have 2 home meets next week. We got our tennis.
Oh, Jay, maybe no flag. It was a stoppage of some sort, but the referees kind of conference had a conversation, and then no flag. No flag was thrown. So 2nd and 11 from the 20-yard line. Green in the shotgun, being chased down from behind. West Brunswick finally gets to him, guess who again? Number 44, Carter Wyatt. You can add a sack to his impressive 2021 numbers as Green loses a yard, and North Brunswick will have a 3rd and 12 from its own 19.
Yeah, Carter gets the sack, but he had a lot of help from his friends that time. Some good pressure, which West is going to have to do on this junior quarterback, R.J. Green. A couple hundred yards through the air, a couple of touchdowns last week in that victory over Ashley.
So Green in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the top of the formation, 2 to the bottom. That's going to be a false start on the receiver. I believe it was number 3, Gronda, who got a little bit, just Jay, maybe a quarter of a second head start there, and the referee right in front of him saw it, threw the false start flag, and what was 3rd and 12 now becomes a 3rd and 17 with 5:55 left in the opening quarter.
And number 22 for West Brunswick, True Robinson, one of my favorites. That's
the truth, as you call him.
Yeah, and he was very much in agreement with that call, slapping his hands.
So 3rd and 17, looks like North Brunswick stayed in the same formation. Green's going to roll out to his left, looking for someone to throw to, still on his feet. Oh, and then number 4, Michael Simpson, came up and delivered a blow to the junior quarterback. And Jay Green got some positive yardage there, about 7-8 yards on the carry, but North Brunswick still about 5.5 yards shy of the line to gain. It's going to be about a 4th and, we'll call it 6 from the North Brunswick 24. And Jay, we've seen this kind of short punt formation here for North Brunswick. It's not your standard looking punt formation, but Tate Davis handles the punting duties, and it looks like that's Malachi Hewitt back deep to receive for the Trojans. West Brunswick didn't get there. A great punt by Davis. The 24-yard line, Jay, look at the wind. Just keeps on taking it all the way down to the 10-yard line. So 26 and 40, a 66-yard punt by Tate Davis. And, Jay, we talked about the importance of special teams so much. North Brunswick went 3 and out, but just completely flipped the field on the West Brunswick Trojans.
Yeah, and how important, particularly in a game with 2 stout defenses like North and West, and a kind of a windy night, so, the elements are going to be in play here too. But field position could be awfully important in this game, and North just really got a big advantage on it there.
And, Jay, I misspoke. The punt was actually down at the 15-yard line, not the 10. So it was a 61-yard punt, but no less impressive. I just can't count.
Still a heck of a boot, isn't it, Sam?
Absolutely. So Campbell back in at quarterback, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, and he throws it away somehow. He was being wrestled to the turf there by a North Brunswick defender, and Jay did a really good job just to get rid of it. Had he not, it would have been a loss of about 7 or 8 yards. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 15.
Yeah, I don't know how Monzel was able to do that. He had Tim Eilman wrapped around him and somehow was able to stay up. He must be a lot stronger than he appears, right? And by way
that was a good lick.
It was.
Ullman hit him good.
Yeah, he did, but he got saved the loss anyway.
Handoff up the middle. Johnny Magby going to try to bust it outside. Jay's still on his feet. Finally knocked down just shy of the 20-yard line. So a gain of 4 on the play will set up a 3rd and 6 from the West Brunswick 19.
And that was good shot that time by cameraman Nathan Evers on number 1, Marquise Willis, the defensive back for North Brunswick, who really laid a lick on Johnny Magby.
If you want to find Marquise Willis on defense, just try to find the football and look around there at the end of the play, and Willis is usually around there.
Yeah, he's a dangerous kid on both sides of the ball, both running the football, catching the football, and defending.
Play clock getting low. West Brunswick tries just to inside handoff there on 3rd and 6. Maybe a little surprising there. Magby was able to pick up 2 yards, but 4 yards shy of the line to gain, and that will set up a 4th and 4 from the 21-yard line of the Trojans.
Like number 15, Limbert, in on that stop with some help from his friends, and just sets up a punting situation for the Trojans, and not in a great place on the field to punt from.
Boy, the punt returner showing the respect of the leg of Locke Murphy way back there, partner. And it's a low kick, takes a fortuitous Trojan bounce, and Jay, kicking into that kind of breeze may have been the best move that Murphy could have made, as it was a 29-5, a 34-yard punt, no return, but North Brunswick does exactly what it needed to do, forces a quick stop and gets great field position near midfield with 2:55 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was 3 excellent downs by the stingy Scorpion defense. We've talked about the fact that they've only given up 8 points in 2 games. You know, of course, West prides itself on his defense, and they got beat last week. They gave up 27 points. I don't know how many times in recent memory, recent years, at least since Brett's been here, that they've given up that many points.
Green hands it off up the middle. Oh, a big hit there.
Geez.
I don't know who hit him low there, but it was a great hit. I think it was 21.
I don't know. Trip Hardy was around the ball. Bembo was around the ball. You don't play defense for the Trojans, and if you don't have your hitting pants on, right? So they laid a good lick that time.
It was Cameron Mapson on the carry. He picked up a yard to the 46 to set up a 2nd and 9, 2:20 left in the opening frame.
And Mapson is a kid you have to watch if you're defending the run in particular against the Scorps. He's got some speed. He had a 9-yard touchdown run last week.
Green in the shotgun. He's under pressure, Jay. Somehow gets away from it. Finally brought down by 44 Carter Wyatt and number 18 Trip Hardy there. So Green picks up 2 yards to the 48, and it will set up a 3rd and 7 from near midfield.
Yeah, if West can continue to put some pressure on Green, that may eliminate to some extent or help mitigate the big play capability that the Scorpions have. A couple of TD passes last week, both over 50 yards. They've got some athletes on this team, and if you can put some pressure on Green, maybe you can negate that somewhat.
Play clock running down. I believe North Brunswick's going to use the first of its 3 first-half timeouts. After the timeout, North will have a 3rd and 7 from the 48-yard line. So, Jay, a promising opening drive by West Brunswick resulted in no points. Big defensive stand in the red zone by North Brunswick. Otherwise, I'll steal a line from you. It feels like, you know, the first couple rounds of a big fight where the boxers, the fighters are kind of filling each other out, and as the game gets into a flow.
Yeah, this is not any big news for North. You know, their first game of the year, which was a 7-0 loss to South Brunswick. They never could get their offense on track, and last week was the same thing until almost the end of the 3rd quarter, and then over about a 3-minute span, they scored 3 touchdowns against Ashley and pull out that 20-8 victory coming into tonight's game with a little bit of momentum, Sam. So, yeah, both teams kind of feeling each other out right now. The big difference has been the great kick by Davis that really changed the field, and the unfortunate penalty by West Brunswick, which took them out of a good 3rd and 8 situation and dropped them back to a tough 3rd down sit.
So 3rd and 7. Green rolls out. Jay's got a lot of running room over there, out of bounds. First down inside the 45-yard line to the 43. Boy, he broke contain over on the right side, and West Brunswick had nobody over there as Green scampers for a first down on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, well, Green showing his athleticism then, and he was the JV quarterback last year. Sam, you probably know more about this than I do, and I think he broke his arm and was getting some snaps with the varsity. He's got a pretty good upside to him, and Levi Limbert has seen some time back at the quarterback position, but I think they're happy with Limbert concentrating on defense and R.J. Green running the attack.
No shortage of talent. Green turned around to hand it off, partner, and nobody was there, and now he's being wrestled down to the turf. maybe picked up a yard to the 42-yard line. A little miscommunication between Green and Mapson. Mapson went one way, Green turned the other to hand it off, and nobody was there, so he just kind of tucked it and got what he could.
Yeah, he zigged when he should have zagged, and that proved to be good news for West. In on that stop point, Hyson Hussein, the senior, and glad to see Hussein back. He missed the first week, played the last 2 weeks, but he's an important part of that defensive line.
So North Brunswick in the shotgun. Green flanked by Mapson. Carter Wyatt's coming this time. That pass was thrown straight at the feet of the intended receiver and falls incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 9. And Jay, for Green's sake, it may have been a good thing because Carter Wyatt came through there all but unscathed.
Yeah, and you know, that's what they want Wyatt to do. They're going to move him around from that linebacker position. They're going to utilize his speed, his strength, and his overall football IQ to advantage. That time a lot of pressure on Green. Tough 3rd and 9 situation for the Scorps.
Green gonna roll out to his left. Got a receiver, it's Tate Davis. That's going to be enough for a North Brunswick first down and then some. So Green to Davis for a gain of about 15 yards. And now it's the North Brunswick Scorpions who are in business with a 1st and 10 inside the West Brunswick 30-yard line.
Terrific effort that time by Green, and a nice snag by Tate Davis, his 6th reception of the season.
Clock winding down here in the first quarter. Green just kind of fakes the bubble screen, takes off and runs with it, and that's going to be the final play of the opening frame. A 3-yard gain on 1st and 10 will set up a 2nd and 7, and that's going to conclude the first quarter here on your ATMC TV Game of the Week. After one, the county rival game between North and West Brunswick were scoreless. Second quarter, North Brunswick on the march here. Impressive drive. Faced a 2nd and 7 from the 24-yard line of West Brunswick. North Brunswick 1-1 entering tonight's contest. West Brunswick 2-1, but the Scorpions on the march here trying to break a scoreless tie. 2nd and 7 from the 24. Green's going to roll out to his right, looking for a receiver. He doesn't have anyone, but he makes a man miss, makes another Trojan miss, finally knocked down at about the 18-yard line. Going to be awfully, awfully close to the first down marker. And Jay, West Brunswick having some trouble bringing Green down right now when North Brunswick moves the pocket.
Yeah, we talk about the elusiveness of Munzel Campbell. I think we could say the same thing about R.J. Green. He's very comfortable in rolling with the football, looking downfield, but if he doesn't have anybody open, he can tuck it and run. Did a nice job that time, picking up 7 yards.
11:20 left before halftime. Game still scoreless, 3rd and 1 from the 18-yard line. Mapson shifts up in the formation, gets the handoff. Simpson brings him down. And, Jay, I think he's going to be short of the marker. We'll have to wait on the mark from the official.
I'll tell you what, if he's short, I think that was Michael Simpson. Michael Simpson on the stop. Sam, this kid, only a 10th grader, but he has played really well for the Trojans thus far this season. 10 total tackles coming into tonight. He had a tackle for a loss. He had a hurry and, a real nice stop there that saved the first down.
And the coaches really like this youngster. He's playing in his 4th varsity game ever. 4th and 1, maybe 4th and a half yard. North Brunswick needs the 17, and I think North's going to want another timeout here. 10:23 left before halftime. Jay, what's the plan here if you're Brian Davis in North Brunswick, and how do you try to stop it if you're the Trojans?
Well, listen, I think the play with the Scorps tonight is R.J. Green. You put the ball in his hands and you let him make a play either with his arm or with his legs. And if you're West Brunswick, they wanted to come into this game tonight trying to get pressure on Green, and for much of this first quarter and early stages of the second quarter, they have been successful. But those couple of times where he evaded the pressure, he was able to make some big plays for the Scorps. So it's going to be interesting here, 4th and yard to go on the 18, 10 minutes, 23 seconds to play, and a scoreless tie here on a, this is what? Spring is tomorrow, or was it last week?
So they say.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool and certainly breezy here in Charlotte on a Friday night.
So 10:23 left in the second quarter. North Brunswick with a critical 4th and 1 from the 18-yard line. The Scorpions need the 17 for a first down. Green going to stay in the shotgun. Maps in behind him. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the very top. Green's going to pitch it off to Mapson. And he is going to be, we're going to have to wait and see on the spot. The Trojans believe he's short. Oh, Jay, we got a flag in the backfield. So before we worry about the spot, we're going to have to wait on the call from the White Hat. 10:16 left before halftime.
I think it's on North holding.
Jay has declined, and the Trojans stopped him. They stopped him short of the marker. Boy, I thought Mapson had enough yardage there for the first down, but the holding flag is, inconsequential, Jay, as North Brunswick didn't pick up the necessary yardage for a first down. A huge stop by West Brunswick with the defense's heels getting close to their own end zone.
Yeah.
But the Trojans will have bad field position to start this drive, but probably just happy to get the ball back.
Big day, big defensive play for the Trojans there. They read that toss sweep real good.
There comes Cobb around the right side. Didn't get a block over there on the edge, partner. Looked like the pop pass had some potential there, but slot receiver wasn't able to hold on to his block on the right side, and Cobb was tackled, but still a gain of about 4 yards to the 22.
Well, when you're running east and west, as Cobb was trying to do, then you got to be able to turn the corner. And when you got a kid like Marquise Willis on the other side who can run east and west pretty good too, that's a nice matchup. Willis that time did a good job, not before a 4-yard gain.
9.5 minutes left in the opening half. Handoff around the left side. It's True Robinson fighting for yardage. He's brought down at about the 24-yard line. So West Brunswick picks up 2 yards on second down, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line.
And once again, Willis and that time Ullman in on that stop. So this is a good defensive unit for Brian Davis. And they play at 4-3, and they've been doing it for a couple years and seemingly got the right parts for it, right pieces in the right place. And they're tough. That big guy in the middle there, Kalani Ballard, number 74. I bet you he's tough to move.
And West Brunswick wants a timeout now to think about this 3rd down play call. It's going to be a 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. And, Jay, after the first 2 weeks of the season, West Brunswick quarterback Monzel Campbell had accounted for 295 total yards, so through the air and on the ground, and 6 total touchdowns. The last 5 quarters and some change, he's been pretty quiet. West Brunswick, I'll say it this way. How does West Brunswick get him going again?
Sam, I think it all starts in the line. You block better, you tackle better, you're going to do real well, and you reduce those errors and mistakes. So it's a young offensive line. I know Brett thinks that eventually these kids that could very well be the strength of this team, but they've got a little bit of growing pain, and you know, they're going through some adjustments. And I think the key for West is to just, you know, keep the faith and keep that line together, keep them working.
So 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Campbell, the quarterback. Magby going to be sent out wide as more of a slot receiver. Cobb in motion. Campbell fakes the handoff. Trying to find some room around the left side. He is going to be knocked out of bounds.
It's going to be close, ladies and gentlemen.
Jay, I can't tell. It's going to be a first down. Wow, I thought, man, Jay, my eyes are off tonight. Usually I feel like I got a pretty good read on those, you know, line to game plays. I thought Campbell was a yard or 2 short, but he did get enough for the first down out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that might have been one of them good spots, you know, that you get on your home field, but it probably was a lot closer than what some folks thought.
West Brunswick really taking its time in between snaps tonight. 15 seconds on the play clock, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. High snap. Campbell's going to keep it. Ball's on the ground, partner. Ball's on the ground. North Brunswick's got it. Let's see what the officials rule. It's there. The head referee is holding up second down, and I believe the Trojans just dodged the biggest bullet of them all.
Wow.
When Campbell went to the ground, the football was nowhere in sight, Jay.
Yeah.
North Brunswick had it back at about the 33-yard line. Instead, it's about a 7-yard gain to set up a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that was Kenton Stafford for North Brunswick who came up with the football, but the officials ruled it down. So good break for West Brunswick. They retain possession and pick up 7 yards to boot.
Campbell in the shotgun. And he is sacked.
Number 2, Monzel Campbell.
That's Gronda, number 3. He's a stud, Sam.
That's about a 7-yard loss, Jay, and you're right, he is.
I don't think anybody put a helmet on Gronda that time. Jaden's a junior, 14 total tackles coming into this evening's contest. And, yeah, nothing Campbell could do about that. That Gronda was there at about the same time the ball was.
Jay, it feels like West is just having a really hard time getting plays in. The play clock is all the way down to about 5 seconds. West is going to have to burn another timeout here. It's going to be a delay of game. I'm just not sure what is going on. There's some kind of disconnect, you know, from the quarterback to the sideline. And I don't know if the play caller is getting them in late or what's going on. But, Jay, it feels like every play West is snapping it with about 2 or 3 left on the play clock. And I think they want to play with a little more tempo than that.
I think somebody else might agree with you as you watch your picture at home. That's Coach Hickman, and he's kind of advising the guys to change their ways and do it real quick. But, yeah, I don't know, Sam. You know, the mechanics, the process of getting plays in and out is something that you have a tendency to probably take for granted and overlook. But I agree with you thus far this evening. It's been a little bit of a challenge for West to efficiently get those calls in and get those plays run. But they'll get it squared away.
Jay, I didn't think too much of it, and then on that sequence, Campbell looked toward the sideline, was clapping his hands, saying, come on, you know, like get the play in. But 3rd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Campbell gets it to J.J. Cobb somehow.
That could be a fumble.
Ball's still loose, Jay.
An incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Okay. They ruled that Cobb never had control of it. And, Jay, that play was kind of busted from the start. Not sure what just happened there, but it's going to be a 4th and 10 from the 28, and the Trojans are going to have to punt it away.
Yes, Campbell got blown up, you know, when he was delivering that football. It was fortunate that it even got to Cobb. And J.J. probably did the right thing with an incomplete pass because they were going to lose some yardage, much less the football. So another punting situation for Locke Murphy. Special teams got to step up for West.
6:47 left before halftime. Scoreless game. Murphy with an end-over-end kick takes a North Brunswick bounce this time, and then it hops forward about 6 or 7 yards down at the 34. So 22-16, a 38-yard punt by senior kicker and wide receiver and punter Locke Murphy. And Jay, another kid who received a scholarship offer this week from Campbell University.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was so happy for him. And one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Tammy Munns, who is over at South
Shallotte
Middle School.
Yep.
And she told me about that. I think she was more excited than Locke, but and she's a big West fan, so I hope she's watching us this evening.
Jay, new quarterback in for North Brunswick. This is our first look at Levi Limbert. Willis in motion. West Brunswick has about 6 guys pointing toward the North Brunswick bench, or North Brunswick line of scrimmage, indicating a false start. And that's exactly what it's going to be, a false start penalty against the Scorpions.
You know,
will move the ball from the 34 to the 29 and set up a 1st and 15.
I'm watching Big Luke King, the senior defensive lineman for West, number 71, and he had his arm extended. For just a moment there, I was thinking he was singing "I'm a Little Teapot."
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he was saying, "Hey, it's against them, and let's move them back 5." But Luke's in the middle of that defensive line that, they're still struggling a little bit. I mean, they got this kid, what was his name? Javian McCray?
Yeah, something like
and
that.
And Savion McCray. I mean, those McCray boys were in that line last year. They're not this year. West is still trying to adapt.
So Willis in motion. Limbert rolls out. He stood up at about the 31-yard line, picks up about 2 yards to the 31. Will set up a 2nd and 13 for the North Brunswick Scorpions.
Tell you what, there's some nice kids out there on that field. That time I see Patrick Vereen, number 14, a senior, plays in the defensive secondary for West and does a great job. And he's helping Limbert off, back in my day, they would step on you.
The Dick Butkus era.
Yeah, they're much more calm way of playing ball now, which is good.
Screen out to the left. Vereen couldn't bring him down, but a good open field tackle there by number 4, Michael Simpson.
Yeah.
And, Jay, I'm afraid if Simpson doesn't make that tackle, Mapson may still be running.
I believe you're right, Sam. What a great open field stop by Simpson. And we talked about him earlier, just a sophomore, but really making a difference with the West Brunswick defense this year.
That was a 5-yard completion from Levi Limbert to Cameron Mapson. Sets up a 3rd and 8. So a good game there, Jay, but after the penalty on first down, still 8 yards to go for a first down for North Brunswick. Limbert drops back, passes high, and very, very nearly picked off. Is that 20 Malachi Hewitt?
I believe so.
It is. Number 20, Malachi Hewitt, nearly kind of stopped on a dime and changed directions and picked off a pass. Instead, it falls to the turf incomplete, setting up a 4th and 8 with 5:10 left before halftime.
Yeah, I think Limbert was looking for Tate Davis, and he overthrew Davis, which is no easy feat because I think Davis is about 6'2", 6'3", but tell you what, Mal was right around the ball that time, and had he been able to catch it, there was a lot of green territory for him to negotiate.
Magby's just going to let that one bounce, and Jay,
Johnny, don't
just run away from it.
Johnny, please don't. I'm too old, son. I can't take it anymore.
Not exactly sure what Magby was doing there, but we got 5 minutes before halftime. West Brunswick comes up with a big defensive stand and takes over 1st and 10 at its own 25. And, Jay, the pressing question, how does this West Brunswick offense get going?
Well, they need some kind of a big play. I mean, Sam, football a lot of times it comes down to 2 or 3 or 4 big plays defensively or offensively, and West is really desperately looking for one.
Magby with a good gain on first down all the way across the – oh, that's not Magby. I think that's 22, True Robinson. He comes up a little lame there. He was brought down across the 30, so a good gain on first down by West Brunswick. officially marked down at the 32, so a gain of 7 will set up a 2nd and 3.
And Truth got thrown to the turf that time, and of course that was pretty clear that the ball or the ground did cause the fumble. But once again, West has had some turnover issues of late. They got to hang on to that ball. There's go.
There's Bellamy, number 15, Dylan Bellamy with a big burst through the line all the way out to the 44-yard line. A gain of 12 and a West Brunswick first down. Jay, West Brunswick going tempo now.
Well, yeah, no trouble getting the play in now. And once again, another 10th grader, this time Dylan Bellamy, who was a big back on the JV team last year that tied for the conference championship, but he can run. Ooh, high hit, ball loose.
I think West Brunswick jumped on it. Boy, Jay, I thought hard to tell. It kind of looked like his neck turned around there a little bit. Tough tackle. Actually picked up 3 yards out to the 47.
Yeah, and Jason Sessoms fell on that ball that time to maintain possession, but that was a pretty high tackle, and hopefully Bellamy's okay.
So 2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. Pass intended for Locke Murphy over his head and incomplete. Will set up a 3rd and 7 from near midfield.
Well, you see the difference, Sam, when you get a little something out of your running game, which they did the past 2 downs. That time Campbell at least had a little bit of time to throw, and he had an open receiver in Murphy, but just overthrew him.
Looked like a simple enough pitch and catch, just got a little too much air under it.
Well, and the wind, Sam, the wind is swirling.
A running play on 3rd and 7, about 4 yards shy of the line to gain.
Did you see? That's and I hope I'm saying is it Eilman or Yulman? Do you know, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure.
It's Uyleman. So Tim, if your folks or family are watching, I apologize if I'm saying your name. You're playing a heck of a game, and that time he came away with that football. I think North is really attacking the ball as much as they are attacking the West ball carriers.
It looks like number 3, Jaden Granda, down on the turf there after Bellamy was stopped for a gain of about 3 yards on 3rd and 7. West Brunswick faces a 4th and 4 from right at midfield.
And what you going to do?
No, Jay, initially the offense raced to the line of scrimmage. You know, I might understand it better if it was 4th and 1 or, you know, maybe even 2, but 4th and 4 in a scoreless game, I think the last thing you want to do is give the Scorpions a short field here. So we'll see. Maybe West Brunswick lines up and tries to draw the Scorpions offside and get a free first down. But the primary concern right now for us here in the booth, and I'm sure the North Brunswick faithful, is the health of Jaden Granda. Good to see him get up on his own power and jog off toward the sideline.
And Sam, let me tell you, if I could get up off the ground and jog off the field as well as Jaden Granda did, I would be the happiest man in Charlotte. Let me tell you, I'm hoping that we'll see some more of Granda before the night's over. He is a really, really good football player and only a junior, so big upside for Granda on that North Brunswick team.
Jay, they're leaving the offense on the field.
They're going for it, going to make something happen. Try
and
to
it
throw
worked.
them off.
We got a flag on the field.
And Jay, it worked, but West Brunswick tight end Mikey Smith jumped, so they might get the tight end for a false start before the offside. No, it's against the Scorpions, and that's going to be an automatic first down. Well, not automatic, but it was only 4th and 4, so the 5 yards they get from the penalty yardage makes it a first down. And, Jay, sometimes all you need is a little break like that to get going. We'll see if the Trojans can capitalize on a huge North Brunswick blunder there on 4th and 4 from midfield.
You know, Sam, we talk a big play. You don't count on a big play being a 5-yard penalty, but in this case, West will take it.
Campbell rolling out to his right. Still on his feet, lowers his shoulder over by the sideline. and he was rode out of bounds at the 42-yard line. We'll give Campbell 43-yard line, so 2 yards. It'll set up a 2nd and 8 from the 43.
That was number 44, Anthony Martels, who chased Campbell out of bounds. Martels, a sophomore. There are a lot of young players on this field for both teams.
So 2nd and 8 from the 43. That's a handoff up the middle to True Robinson. Jay is still on his feet.
Hang on to that ball, True.
Finally ruled down inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. So he picks up 4 yards, and it will be a 3rd and 4 from the 39-yard line. 2:10 left in the first half.
When you're running upright, as True Robinson was that time, you got guys that are swatting that ball and hitting you from all different angles. You really got to value the possession.
There's another automatic first down on 3rd and 4. Kalani Ballard runs into the center. Weston Sharp. It'll be an offside penalty against North Brunswick. And once again, it gives a struggling offense a free first down, essentially, is what it is, Jay. Instead of West Brunswick having to snap the ball and earn it, they just, kind of do a little hard count. Ballard jumped off sides, and it'll be a brand new set of downs. 1st and 10 at the North Brunswick 34.
Sam, I didn't make this up. People a lot smarter than me, but the saying is that most football games are lost, not won. Oh, good hit.
Gronda.
And True staying up.
Yeah, stayed on his feet, Jay, but it's going to be a loss of a yard back to the 35-yard line to set up a 2nd and 11. And, Jay, West Brunswick's really got to get in a hurry now. We're under a minute and a half left before halftime, 1:25, and West Brunswick wants a timeout. It's 2nd of the half to talk it over. 1:22 left before the break. West has a 2nd and 11 from the 35-yard line. Pretty good drive the Trojans have put together, aided by a couple of untimely North Brunswick penalties.
Yeah, they've really helped West on this drive, and certainly I've heard Brian Davis's Scorpions as we take a look inside the West Brunswick huddle. Brett Hickman, head coach. What's this, year 3 for Brett?
Year 3.
Yeah, and he's done a pretty darn good job here in Charlotte. Last year's squad 10-2, made it to the playoffs.
17-9 in 3 years. Well, through 3 games of year 3, the Trojans are 17-9.
Off to a tremendous start here. Is wanted to kind of build a program, right? And I think he's well underway to doing that. But it'll help a lot if they can figure out this 2nd and 11. Now, Sam, which way is the wind blowing? You're the weatherman.
West it's downwind right now, the way West is traveling.
Okay, so that would
would aid the field goal team.
If in fact that turns out to be something that West needs to do. Maybe not.
Cobb, Wing got it! J.J. Cobb with an excellent catch all the way inside the 10-yard line of the Scorpions. And, Jay, that's just a young ball player going and making a play. Ball a little bit underthrown, probably to Cobb's advantage. He was able to come back and get it, and with 1:15 left before the break, Trojans have a 1st and goal at the 9.
And, we were talking about the wind at the back being a help for kicking, but it helps for passing, too.
Yep, absolutely.
Campbell able to get it to J.J.
There's True Robinson. He's got a seam. Fighting for the yardage inside the 5. Knocked down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. And West Brunswick game clock is under a minute. I believe the Trojans have 1 timeout left. Campbell's going to run up, bark out instructions at his offensive line. Ball at about the 3 yard line. West Brunswick trying to break a scoreless tie.
I think Campbell or True take this one.
There's True Robinson fighting for the yardage.
It's got to be close.
He's ruled just a bit short, Jay.
Clock
and
is
West
moving.
is going to have to get on the ball.
Clock is moving.
All the way down to 27 seconds left.
Clock is moving.
Jay, I'm wondering if he's going to get under center and run the sneak. He does.
And
North Brunswick stands tall. I think
He's
they
in.
drove Campbell across the goal line and in the end zone for the game's first score. A 1-yard plunge from senior quarterback Monzel Campbell. Trojans 6, Scorpions 0.
tell you
What
what.
a drive right before halftime.
You know, we talk about Monzel being a little bigger, playing a little bigger than what he is because he's strong in the legs, and he kept them legs moving that time and had some help from his friends, particularly 22, True Robinson, pushing him into the end zone.
Huge kick right here, partner. Good snap, good hold. Murphy didn't get all of it, but he splits the uprights into the back of the soccer net. And boy, Jay, it just after last week's game, it just felt like West had to have that right there after they had gotten inside the 10.
Yeah, look, they were fortunate on that drive because of the North penalties, but, you know, teams that take advantage of opportunities are the teams that more often than not, do well. And listen, credit West Brunswick that time for taking advantage of the misfortunes of North by giving up those what turned out to be 10 yards and a couple of 5-yard penalties made all the difference in the world. Then the big pass to Cobb set it up. So, and they couldn't have scripted it any better. 14 seconds left to go in the quarter.
And Jay, the scoreboard shows 0, but I think West Brunswick did have one timeout left. Had that third down play not have been successful, I think the Trojans could have called their third and final timeout and then decided whether or not they were going to kick a field goal. Jay, I can't wait to watch Locke Murphy kick off with this wind at his back, helping him.
Yeah, he's got a pretty strong foot, Sam, and with a little bit of Mother Nature behind him, who knows how far this one can go.
We'll see if he catches all of it. 13 seconds left in the half. Here comes Murphy. Jay, it fell off the tee as he went to kick it. And he still got it through the end zone. Jay, let me tell you why I love sports.
Okay.
Every time you watch it on TV usually or in person, you're bound to see something you've never seen before, and you can put that one in that category. The ball was falling off the tee before Murphy got there. He still kicked the touchback. I've never seen that.
Do you think you could do it?
No.
I don't think
I was a kicker in high school.
know you
I
were.
assure you I had 0 career touchbacks. I couldn't even kick it while I was on the tee, much less falling off of it.
I did place kicks, but the old-fashioned way.
Straight toe?
Yeah, man, I was the old way, right?
And, Jay, North Brunswick going to be content just taking a knee on it and taking it to the halftime break. A huge swing in momentum there as it felt like North Brunswick really kind of controlled the first quarter and a half, but the Trojans get the ball with about 5 minutes left before halftime, and Monzel Campbell, Dylan Bellamy, True Robinson, and a big pass play to J.J. Cobb helped the Trojans get on the board with a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Campbell. Murphy's extra point was good, and the Trojans lead 7-0 at halftime on ATMC TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of West Brunswick, the West Brunswick High School Marching Trojans. The 2021 drum major is Cameron Gilbert, the field captain Nick Hutchinson. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Spring 2021 Homecoming Court introductions. We're going to let everyone get into place. We're going to start off with the junior homecoming court. Our junior homecoming court tonight starts off with Valerie Cruz, escorted by Carter Wyatt. Valerie is the daughter of Henry Cruz and Carolina Cerfuentes. She wants to attend college on a 4-year sports scholarship, and her theme song is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Carter is the son of Kevin Wyatt and April and Jesse Vesconti. Carter plans to play Division I football at a 4-year university and study economics. His theme song is God's Plan by Drake. Our next juniors, Caroline McMullen, escorted by Justin Goodman. Caroline is the daughter of Brant and Amy McMullen. She plans on attending a 4-year university and majoring in economics and financial management before attending graduate school for tax law. Her theme song is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Justin Goodman is the son of Brian and Tangela Goodman, and he plans on attending UNC Charlotte to major in business. His theme song is Watch by Travis Scott. Our next juniors, Alia Ward, escorted by Jermaine Bennett. Alia is the daughter of Saritha Varnum and Tony Ward, and her plan is to attend a 4-year college to earn her degree in biology as well as her teaching license. Her theme song is The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Jermaine is the son of Branton and Verlette Scott and plans on joining the military before attending college to earn a degree in sports medicine. His theme song is Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. Let's give it up for our junior homecoming court. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The results. Your runner-up for junior homecoming prince is Carter Wyatt. Your runner-up for homecoming princess, Valerie Cruz. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, your homecoming prince, Justin Goodman. And your homecoming princess, Caroline McMullen. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our prince and princess. Our prince, Justin Goodman. Our princess, Caroline McMullen. It's a little windy out there. Once again, let's give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. And now for our senior homecoming court. First, we have Rebecca Dale Ladson, escorted by E.J. Lopez. Rebecca Dale is the daughter of Charity Dawn and B.J. Ladson. She plans on attending NC State to earn her master's in psychology with a minor in criminology before working for the FBI as a forensic psychologist. Her theme song is September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. EJ is the son of Savon Lopez and Kendrick Gause and wants to go to college to study acting. His theme song is Headlines by Drake. Our next seniors, Ryan Beth Connick, escorted by Locke Hyatt Gentry Murphy. Ryan is the daughter of Leah and Patrick Connick and will attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in psychology and criminal justice before earning her doctorate in forensic psychology. Her theme song is Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye. Locke is the son of Jennifer and Trip Murphy and plans to play college football while studying sports management. His song is Pimpin' Ain't Easy by Kodak Black. Next, we have Rhea Sanchez, escorted by Wade Sibley. Rhea is the daughter of Trini and Bernard Sanchez. She plans to attend UNCW for 4 years and become an NICU nurse. Her theme song is Pretty Girl Rock by Carrie Hilson. Wade is the son of Wendy and Will Sibley. He plans to wrestle in college and pursue some type of business degree. His theme song is Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. Our next senior, Aubrey Renee Wicks, escorted by Malachi Hewitt. Aubrey is the daughter of Andrew and Nikki Wicks. She plans to attend a 4-year college and earn a nursing degree, specializing in Sorry about that. The power went out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Malachi is the son of Onika Hewitt, and his plan is to become an entrepreneur with multiple incomes and assets. His theme song is Hood Rich by Saab Cam. And last but not least, Jacqueline Hubbard, escorted by William Lopez Devana. Jackie is the daughter of Lisa Hubbard, and she plans to attend BCC to earn her degree in medical science. Her theme song is Count on Me by Bruno Mars. William is the son of Maria Lopez, and he plans to be a successful aspect of life. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up for Homecoming King, Mr. Malachi Hewitt. Your runner-up for Homecoming Queen, Rebecca Dale Ladson. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Homecoming King, Wade Sibley. And your 2021 Homecoming Queen, Rhea Sanchez. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our 2021 Homecoming Court and our King, Wade Sibley, and our Homecoming Queen, Rhea Sanchez.
And we're almost set for the start of the second half here at M.H. Rourke Stadium. West Brunswick scored a late touchdown in the first half, and Locke Murphy tacked on an extra point after a Monzel Campbell 1-yard quarterback sneak. It was the game's only score. West Brunswick 7-0 lead over North Brunswick, but the Scorpions will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Jay, your takeaways from the opening 24 minutes.
Well, again, a tight defensive battle. Nobody's surprised there. These are two real good defensive units, and the difference in the first half, I guess you could say maybe those penalties that allowed on the part of North that allowed West to continue a drive, and eventually a nice pass, a big pass from Campbell to J.J. Cobb set it up, and then, as you said, Sam, Campbell plunges in from one, and Murphy's point after gives the Trojans a 7-0 lead here to start the second half.
Cameron Mapson and I think number 8, Trey Ellis, back deep to receive for the North Brunswick Scorpions. Here's Murphy's kick. It's a high end over end kick. Carries into the end zone and bounces through the back for his second consecutive touchback. Jay, that one actually stayed on the tee. Murphy kicked it high, he kicked it far, and North Brunswick will start this drive from its own 20-yard line.
And here's the deal, you know, he kicks it into the end zone when it falls off the tee, and he kicks it into the end zone when it stays on the tee. I mean, I think you understand quickly this kid can kick it into the end zone. Sam, real quick, I want to see who's coming out at quarterback for North. R.J. Green was the starter, and then he was replaced, but Green's back. So good. We were thinking or afraid maybe that he was hurt or something was wrong because Lindbergh came in for a few series, but Green back in under center for the Scorps.
And Jay, remember, West Brunswick had some trouble getting Green to the turf early in the game. He rolls out this time, fires it. Oh, very nearly picked off by number 14, Patrick Vereen. Some excellent coverage down the field. I think Vereen thought he should have had that one, kind of looks upset with himself. There in the middle of the field, Vereen, where's number 14, stepped in front of the receiver and broke up that pass, setting up a 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line of the Scorpions.
Tell you what, Vereen has done really well in that secondary. He came on last season in the second half of the year, and he's continued that good defensive play here this season.
North Brunswick flips it out to Mapson. That's Carter Wyatt around the edge.
Good pop.
Jay, there was
Vereen.
a flag there thrown in at the very end of that. It was, I'm interested to see, it was right where the tackle was made. So I'm kind of interested to see what the flag is. It's a personal foul on the offense.
Wow.
Jay, I can't help but wonder if they got Mapson for lowering the crown of his helmet into the West Brunswick defender. It would have set up about a 3rd and 5 from the 25. Instead, the ball's going to be backed up. Jay, is the 25, is that half the distance? Is it going to be on about the 12?
Well, looks like they're taking it back to
right now, he stopped at, okay, he's at the 15, 16. Okay, Jay. I'm going to just wait for him to put it down.
It might be the
13-yard line.
Well, you were close.
And I'm wondering what down it is. The down marker shows 2. I don't know if the down counts, partner. So do we have a 2nd and 16 or 17 here or 3rd? Looks like 2nd.
Looks like 2nd.
Green's going to take off. Jay's still on his feet. He's got a lot of room. Finally chased out of bounds by Carter Wyatt. And Jay ran out right at the 30-yard line. Going to have enough for a first down. So a golden opportunity there for West Brunswick to get a stop on 2nd and about 18. But Green runs for 18 yards, enough for a North Brunswick first down.
Boy, a huge play by R.J. Green. And Sam, you know, he sort of lost his balance had he not.
Yeah, Jay, I thought he had, was going to be out till midfield.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Wyatt did a good job chasing him down, but he was kind of going down before. But nevertheless, an excellent play by the junior quarterback, R.J. Green.
Green in the shotgun. North Brunswick has not handed the ball off on this possession. Now he's going to roll out to his left. Wyatt brings him down. Ball is on the ground, partner. Ball's on the ground. North Brunswick jumps on it, so a missed opportunity there for West Brunswick as the ball came squirting loose. But North Brunswick pounced on it, and once again, Jay, 11 yards on the scramble and another North Brunswick first down. Green is just giving this Trojan defense problems when he takes off and scrambles with it.
Well, and two things. One, I mean, first of all, I think Cameron Mapson came up with the fumble. And secondly, you're right, Sam, that Green, they're not getting any pressure on him, and then when he finally releases and goes, he's causing some problems for the Trojans.
That's Limbert in. I think they're switching him out. Green probably got tired after those. It's picked. Drew Robinson, pass deflected by 44, Carter Wyatt. Oh, it's called incomplete.
Well, and I think we got an injured Trojan.
It's called an incomplete on the play, so no interception, and Robinson is injured.
Wow. A lot going on that one, Sam.
Jay, I thought the ball came loose after he was hit and went to the ground. A referee came running in saying it was an incomplete pass, and it is going to be incomplete.
Well, probably a bigger issue right now is the health of True Robinson.
And, Jay, he's been playing banged up. We've seen him on the sidelines all night, back and forth from the trainer's table. He'd go in, play for a snap, and then come out.
Ooh.
And
you know, there's
oh, he's being carried off, partner.
That ain't good.
Oh, no.
That's Patrick and number 43,
Hussein. Wow, what a terrible sight that is as he's being carried off the field by his senior teammates, Vareen and Hussein. And Jay West has only got 9 guys out there as the two teams go back on the field. Here come Vareen and Hussein. Boy, did not look good. Anytime you got to be carried off by your teammates, it's a scary sight. And boy, Jay, looked like West Brunswick was going to get possession at about the 30-yard line after the deflected pass and interception. It was ruled incomplete on the field, and so it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Scorpions. And Green back in. There's Wyatt and Luke King in on the stop.
Big Luke.
About a 2-yard gain out to the 43-yard line. I think the North Brunswick bench there wanted some kind of late hit. So, Jay, a huge play here. 7-0 West Brunswick. North Brunswick has a 3rd and 8 from its own 43-yard line.
You know, Sam, this game kind of feels like it's gonna turn on a big play. West almost had one on that deflected pass, but let's see what happens on this 3rd and 8 situation.
And, Jay, one of North Brunswick's most dangerous plays has just been when Green improvises outside of the pocket.
He's got time. He's going to improvise. He's going to get hit.
And he's not. Oh, Jay, still on his feet. Finally, Wyatt and Hussein bring him down at the 44-yard line, but what looked like a surefire sack for the Trojans, Green was able to escape and actually pick up a yard out to the 44. And barring an aggressive play call here from Brian Davis, it looks like it's going to bring on the North Brunswick punt team, and that is Tate Davis.
Now
set to receive the snap and kick it away for the Scorps.
The Scorpions will be kicking into a pretty good wind. And then back to return a kick is Mount Hewitt. But this has been kind of an exciting place for West this season. Let's see how this one turns out.
Takes a pretty good West Brunswick bounce, actually, and rolls to a stop at the 24-yard line where West Brunswick will take over 1st and 10. A 32-yard punt by Tate Davis. A big stop on the opening possession of the second half for the Trojans. And with 9:13 left in the 3rd and West Brunswick leading 7-0, the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 inside their own 25.
And, you know, all things considered, Sam, by Davis, not a bad punt.
Not at all. 32 yards and no return. I think most high school programs will take that kind of net yardage on punts.
So let's see what Mr. Campbell and company can do here to start West Brunswick's first possession of the 3rd quarter.
Campbell's just going to take off and run with it. He was met at about the 26-yard line, maybe the 27. We'll give him 2, maybe 3 yards to set up a 2nd and 7.
Levi Limbert in on the stop that time from his linebacker position. He really had Campbell wrapped up pretty good, but not before Monzel picked up 3. Maybe figure out a way, Sam, to get the ball to J.J. Cobb.
Of course, Cobb was on the receiving end of about a 35-yard completion that set up West Brunswick's first touchdown. 8.5 minutes left in the third.
How about Avery Clemens? Is he out there?
He's going to throw it deep.
He's going for Avery.
Clemens reached up to grab it. Good call there, partner, but Clemens was well out of bounds, and it wouldn't have counted had he hauled it in anyway. So, boy, Jay, right out of the gates, you get the ball back, and 2 plays later, you're facing a 3rd and long situation, and, you know, you just – even with a 7-0 lead, you worry about your defense playing this amount of plays, especially chasing around a kid of R.J. Green's caliber, running the football.
Exactly. And, you know, look, you got 8 minutes left in the third quarter. You got 8 minutes with that wind at your back. You want to take advantage of that. He's got it this time. No. Short hopped it, Sam.
Had him. McCall was open, Jay, and if he hits him in the chest, I think McCall has enough room there to run for a first down. Instead, it's going to bring on the West Brunswick punt team with 8:20 left in the third quarter.
Yep, they had it set that time, but just not able to execute, as they say. So let's see if Locke Murphy, again with that pretty good breeze behind him, can get one up in the air. Of course, that gives kids like number 5, Cameron Mapson, who's back to return for North, an opportunity to do some damage too.
Oh, end over end kick. Oh, it hit Mapson.
Loose ball.
It hit Mapson. Ball's on the ground, and North Brunswick recovered.
Wow.
West Brunswick caught another humongous break. It took one hop, nailed Mapson. West Brunswick had 2 guys right there with a chance to recover it, but North Brunswick pounced on it and will take over 1st and 10 at its own 37. That would have been a huge special teams play by West Brunswick.
It was Deshaun Johnson from North Brunswick who alertly picked up that loose ball and maintained possession. Otherwise, the Trojans would be in a pretty good situation.
I couldn't tell, Jay, the Trojan who was down there who had a chance to kind of it's a tough play. You know, you're running full speed trying to fall on it. But nevertheless, North Brunswick football. Pass is incomplete, intended for Mapson. It was a forward pass, so it's incomplete. Hyson Hussein was there with the pressure. We'll set up a 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line.
Well, that's what West has got to do more of, is try to get some pressure on R.J. Green, and then, then you let somebody like Carter Wyatt clean up the mess. That time he was getting ready to level Mapson. I think Cameron did the right thing letting that ball go by.
And Jay, the pass rush, it can be a double-edged sword, because if you rush too much upfield and Green, breaks contain with his running ability, it can make it tough. So West Brunswick's got to rush, but with discipline. That pass short hopped into the arms of the receiver, number 2, Seth DeLuey. So that pass is incomplete. Jay, looked like pretty good coverage there by number 4, Michael Simpson. Tried to cut under it, but the pass was thrown too low. And a huge opportunity here on 3rd and 10 for the West Brunswick defense to force a stop.
Yeah, if the Trojan D can play this down well, the offense is going to get back on the field real quick.
So R.J. Green in the shotgun, flanked by Cameron Mapson. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Pass is caught. A good tackle made by 14, Patrick Vereen. So a completed pass. And, Jay, now it might be North Brunswick's turn to maybe try to draw West Brunswick offsides after the 6-yard completion on 3rd and 10. It sets up a 4th and 4 from the 43-yard line of the Scorpions.
And, Sam, if you were going to fake a punt, is this an area on the field that you might do it?
I think so, Jay, and I think the way your defense is played, you can feel reasonably confident, and that your defense might come up with a stop. Oh, a little shank on that one, partner. Boy,
Yep.
North Brunswick had a chance to really flip the field, but Tate Davis, put went off the side of his foot. Referee still walking. It is marked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So a 12-yard punt this time by Tate Davis, who, Jay, is interesting. Both these teams have starting wide receivers who handle the punting duties. Don't see that all the time. It's one of the things you see in high school football.
And they both do a pretty good job. That time,
They do.
Tate, yeah, uncharacteristically, that one went off. It looked like when he released the ball, it kind of, was up in the air before he wanted it to. I don't know, but anyhow.
Win, maybe?
Maybe, possibly, who knows?
Campbell back in at quarterback for West Brunswick. He's flanked back there by Johnny Magby, I do believe. Magby trying to turn the corner, does a pretty good job, gets across midfield. He's slung out of bounds at about the 49-yard line, so a gain of 6 on first down sets up a 2nd and 4. And Jay, West Brunswick, by virtue of that really short North Brunswick punt, is all the way already across midfield.
Yeah, one of the few times tonight I can remember where offensively West was able to get to the edge and make some positive yards.
Yeah, great point.
I think North has done a real good job of kind of stringing things out and forcing stuff, and West hasn't really been able to move the ball that well. But good start on this possession.
6:50 left in the third. That pass is complete. Avery Clemens fighting for yardage. He secures the catch, gets across the 45-yard line, knocked down at the 43, so a gain of 6 and a West Brunswick first down. Good to see Clemens get back into action, Jay. He had a great start to the year with touchdown catches in each of the first 2 games.
And another one of those young players, just a sophomore. There's a lot of them on both sides or both teams here this evening, and that was a nice delivery that time by Monzel.
West Brunswick running back tries to kind of duck his way through the line of scrimmage there, but is brought down after a gain of 2 yards to the 41. It'll be a 2nd and 8 from the North Brunswick 41. 6:10 left in the third quarter. That was Magby on the carry. West has really struggled to establish its running game here tonight, but trying to capitalize on some good field position here in the quarter. That's going to be an offside penalty against Jaden Granda. Jay, did you see the penalty flag go up there? The referee threw it up, and it looked like it was going to land right at Locke Murphy, and he kind of jumped out of the way like he saw a ghost.
Well, hey, Murphy used to play soccer. I don't know if he does anymore, but he's got them quick feet. He's used to moving around.
And the flag happens to match the sleeves on his undershirt here
tell you
tonight.
what, he is dressed to the nines, isn't he?
So, Jay, a 2nd and 3 now, a long 3, maybe a short 4. Cobb in motion. It's got the speed sweep around the right side. It's going to be a penalty on West Brunswick. They're going to get tight end Mike Smith for a penalty. It would have been enough for the first down yardage. Instead, they're going to push the Trojans backwards. And, Jay, those are the ones that'll kill you. When you're on schedule, got a 2nd and 3, maybe a 2nd and 4, and let's see what maybe a block in the back. Could be worse and get him for a blindside block. Nope, holding.
Well, again, I
Penalty against the Trojans.
kind of go back to what your brother said about West. What's important? Block, tackle, eliminate penalties, no turnovers, right?
Yeah.
So on that particular play, one of those things that Brett says we just got to stay away from. Penalties hurts them, takes away a first down.
The only redeeming quality was it was close to the line to gain, so it's a 2nd and 12 here from the 46. That pass complete out to True Robinson, running toward the corner. Did a good job just lowering his head and getting some positive yardage. A good hit there by number 11, Tim Ullman.
We got to find out, because if we do another North game this year, this kid's a pretty good ball player. He's been around the ball all night long, so make sure he says his name correctly. And nice to see True back in the game, because he had to be carried off the field not that many plays ago.
So 3rd and 8 from the 41-yard line of North Brunswick. 4:55 left in the third quarter. Cheerleaders throwing some little plastic footballs up into the
There you
bleachers.
go.
There
you
he
go.
is.
There you
Monzel
go.
Campbell with a big carry across the 30, wrestled down at the 28. A gain of 13 yards and a West Brunswick first down.
Yeah, the first time tonight that I'd say, or one of the few times tonight where that West offensive line got a good
good surge.
off the ball, and
great call, partner.
Little delay that time by Campbell, and he took full advantage of it. Nice play by the Trojans.
So West Brunswick has a 1st and 10 at the North Brunswick 28. True Robinson on the carry. He's got a little room inside the 20, down at the 16.
Big time tackle by Tate Davis, but not before Truth was served by True Robinson. Again, maybe West has found something going straight up the gut. We talked earlier about the difficulties they've had running off the edges, but maybe they can get something going on the interior of that line. They sure have the last 2 plays.
Last 2 plays have covered what, Jay? From the 41 to the 17, about 24 yards. And West Brunswick has a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Campbell's going to keep it. Got a little running room inside the 10, still on his feet. Wrestled down just shy of the 6-yard line. And, Jay, I believe that's going to be yet another West Brunswick first down. If so, Jay, that's 10-plus yards on 3 consecutive carries. And you look up, the ball was at midfield, and 3 plays later, West Brunswick has a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line of the North Brunswick Scorpions.
Well, this guy's in the middle of that line. Weston Sharp, Andre Page, 72, big Tristan Daniel getting off the ball.
It's going to be Bellamy this time, tackled inside the 5-yard line. But, Jay, yet another positive play by the West Brunswick rushing attack. Bellamy was knocked down at the 2-yard line. Looks like West Brunswick wants to get back on the ball quickly. And under center, let's see if Campbell runs the sneak again. He's trying to move forward. Jay's marked down just shy, and that's going to set up 3rd and goal from about the half-yard line. West Brunswick about a half-yard short, and boy, what a big play we've got here. Oh, no, it's a yard. The ball's not even inside the 1-yard line yet. So let's see what West Brunswick wants to do here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Might be give that kid Bellamy another shot at it, Sam. Not this time. Not this time. Great effort. Ronda.
Yep, Jay, and Bellamy may even have lost a yard there. Going to be a really interesting call. Oh.
Dangerous play, young man. Be careful throwing that ball. I know you're a little frustrated. You're a little upset. You got to live for another day here, and I think West's going to take a timeout. Yeah,
Jay, and they're back at the 2. That was a loss of 1 yard by Bellamy there on the 3rd down carry. So a field goal, a made field goal would give West Brunswick a 10-point lead, making it a 2-possession game after advancing the ball down to the 1 on a 2nd and goal play. Jay, I haven't seen any indication that West Brunswick is even thinking about kicking the field goal here. What would you do, Coach Combs?
I'd defer to Coach Hickman. That's what I would do. But yeah, it appears that they're going to go ahead and go for it, Sam, and they'll figure out maybe, they're down there anyway, so if we can't get the first down or get a touchdown, North Brunswick is going to have to go 97, 98 yards. By the way, on that last play, you called out Granda, but 44 Martels, the sophomore, was in on that stop too. So, that was just a nice defensive effort by the Trojans to set up now this 4th down and goal from the 2-yard line.
Jay, it looks like West Brunswick's going to keep the offense on the field. I thought West Brunswick may use the package where they've got Hussein and Wyatt in as blocking backs, but this looks like the regular offense is going to stay on the field. So undoubtedly the play of the game so far, 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, 2:15 left in the 3rd. West Brunswick leading by 7.
You figure Campbell going to
and a false start.
Oh boy, that might change the whole thing, Sam.
And a false start penalty on believe it's 72, Tristan Daniel. We'll have to wait on the call from the official. No, Jay, offside. And, Jay, that makes what would have been a 4th and goal from the 2. It inches it a little bit closer to the 1-yard line.
So, you know, maybe if you were thinking a handoff or maybe doing something with Campbell to the outside, maybe now you try to run up the gut as they did earlier for their first touchdown and only touchdown of the night.
And Jay, here comes Wyatt.
44's in the game. What's he going to do?
Yep, Carter Wyatt is now in the game. I think they might keep this one in the hands of Campbell.
Yeah.
Maybe quarterback power around the right side. I thought maybe they might try to get him to the edge here, expecting to run up the gut, maybe try to get Campbell on the perimeter. Wyatt in the game at tight end, 4th and goal from the 1. Campbell is in there. Touchdown, West Brunswick. Senior quarterback Monzel Campbell with his 2nd 1-yard rushing touchdown of the night. And the Trojans have taken a 13-0 lead with 2:10 left in the 3rd. Jay, do you like the aggressive play call on 4th and goal?
I do only simply because the West defense has played so well this evening. If you're not able to get into the end zone, you're going to force North to go 98 yards, which likely not able to do and against the wind.
Big extra point attempt here. Murphy could make it a 14-point game. Kick is up. Kick is good. Kick is over the soccer goal, behind the goal, or the uprights. And West Brunswick with a 14-0 lead over the North Brunswick Scorpions here on your ATMC TV Game of the Week. Jay, West Brunswick found something in the running game there on that drive. You saw big runs by Campbell, by Robinson, one nice one from Dylan Bellamy. It all culminated in a 1-yard scoring plunge from Monzel Campbell.
Well, you know, that was a little kind of a, snapshot of West football on that play. You know, they value the ball, run the ball well, and play good defense. And that's the process here at West Brunswick, and you certainly saw it all on that particular possession. Again, some nice up-front blocking at the interior of the West Brunswick line allowed Campbell to pick up some tough yards, and you called out number 15, Bellamy, and True Robinson as well. So a good series for West, and you know, where points have been tough to come by this evening, 14 looks like a pretty good number with 2:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Another kickoff attempt, kicking it with the wind, Locke Murphy. Doesn't catch all of this one, and it's going to be fielded cleanly at about the 6-yard line. Wyatt in pursuit, and guess what? Carter Wyatt slams the ball carrier to the turf at about the 21-yard line. Jay, he's got to be in double-digit tackles tonight between special teams and defense. I know he's forced one fumble, and I know he has at least one tackle for a loss. So, Jay, let me ask you this. We've seen flashes from the North Brunswick offense in this game. You know, they haven't been completely they've been shut out, but they haven't been completely stopped stone cold by the West Brunswick defense. If you're North Brunswick offensively, how do you find some explosive plays and crawl back into this one?
Well, you know, they're a big play team. I mean, they've got some excellent athletes, and they got to try to take advantage of them here.
Green flushed out again. Hyson Hussein. Look at Green. He's Houdini. He's still on his feet, and, boy, it's a good thing he stepped out at about the 26-yard line because it looked like he had some running room in the defensive backfield. Boy, Jay, you didn't see hardly at all last year guys slip away from Hyson Hussein, but Green was able to do it there.
Yeah, and listen, I think Hyson's another one of those kids that's really playing as much with his heart as he is anything else. He's got some – you know, he's nicked up a little bit, so just being out there and doing what he's doing is quite a testament.
So 6 yards on the game from R.J. Green. Fires it underneath to Tate Davis, but the pass was a little low and falls incomplete. And, Jay, it's tough when you're on the run like that. It looked like Green maybe left his feet a little bit before he threw that one. As a former quarterback yourself, you know the importance of having your feet under you and, you know, being in good athletic position before you fire one.
Yeah, I've read about it, and all the books will tell you, yeah, you know, it's that foundation you need, right? And that time perhaps it got away from RJ a little bit, but they still got a 3rd down they can come back with here.
3rd and 4 from the 27-yard line. Green's pass to Granda complete. Patrick Vereen there to make the tackle. But a good pitch and catch from R.J. Green to Jaden Granda. A complete pass, 27 to the 4, about a 20-yard completion from Green to Granda. G squared on the connection for a North Brunswick first down, 1st and 10 Scorps at their own 47-yard line.
Probably the best thrown ball by Green this evening.
Yep, indeed.
And Patrick was tied up with Granda, but just a good pass that time.
Pass completed there. Was that number 2, Seth DeLuey? Wide receiver screen there, complete for 3 yards from R.J. Green to DeLuey. And, Jay, we're approaching the 1-minute mark of the third quarter, and the Scorpions have the ball at midfield for a 2nd and 7.
I'll tell you, Wyatt got a good piece of R.J. Green that time. Just as R.J. released the ball, Carter leveled him, but not before he got the pass complete to DeLuey.
Green keeps it.
Nice.
Still on his feet. Little zone read play. Fruitful for the Scorpions. R.J. Green all the way from the 50 to the 35-yard line. So a 15-yard gain on 2nd and 7. And the Scorpions in business here with a 1st and 10 at the West Brunswick 35-yard line.
Lovely ball fake that time by.
Oh, Green, they lost the ball, Jay.
He did.
They snapped it to him. He bobbled it. As it was going to the turf, he caught it but fell down kind of on his belly. So I guess he recovered it. Oh, I don't know if it was even a fumble. Either way, a loss of 2 yards back to the 37, and we got 25 seconds left here. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. North has a 2nd and 12 from the 37-yard line.
I don't know if they're going to run this play or not, Sam. They are.
They are. Green gets the snap. Fires it across the middle. They got a play, too. And Tate Davis brought down shy of the first down marker, but a good gain there on 2nd and 12. Gain of about 10 yards from R.J. Green to Tate Davis. Ball marked at about the 27-yard line. North Brunswick needs the 25 for a first down. And we're going to take a short break, but stay right here with us. We'll have all the action from the fourth quarter for you on ATMC TV. West Brunswick 14, North Brunswick 0 on your Game of the Week. And we're back for the start of the fourth quarter, Jay. I keep saying this about 3 different times, but you got to think this is the play of the game so far. North Brunswick down by 14, trying to do whatever it can to stay in this one. Have a 3rd and 2 from the 27-yard line. The Scorpions need the 25 for a first down.
Well, they're in 4-down territory for sure, Sam. They'd like to get it on this.
Pass complete out to Willis. He's got it, and then some. Finally wrestled down inside the 15-yard line, but that's just a great player making a great individual play. Marquise Willis about 14 yards on the completion from R.J. Green, and the Scorpions, definitely their best drive of the night, have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line of the Trojans.
Yeah, Willis came into tonight's game with 7 catches, 133 yards. He had a 58-yard touchdown catch last week. He's an outstanding player, and tell you what, the young quarterback R.J. Green looks good on this drive.
He sure does. He's going to roll out left this time. Still on his feet somehow. Oh, kind of bent up and stopped there. gained a yard to the 12. I believe Wyatt was involved there on that stop, along with about 3 other Trojans. A yard to the 12-yard line brings up a 2nd and 9.
Tough guy to bring down, you know, and this whole drive started, remember, Sam, on that first play from scrimmage where it appeared that Hussein had him wrapped up, and he got away, and
Great
that kept the drive going, and here they are knocking on the door.
2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line. Wyatt's coming on pressure, and he missed him. Green still on his feet, Jay. He might score. No, West Brunswick somehow was able to bring him down. Trip Hardy stopped him just shy or right at the 5-yard line. So it's going to set up another 3rd and 2 situation. Jay, countless times tonight, West Brunswick has been right there with a chance to bring Green down for a sack or minimal yardage, and he's just been able to keep the play alive with his legs and come up with positive yardage.
Well, you're so right, Sam. And, you know, one of the things that West wanted to do, they wanted to put some pressure on the quarterback. Well, they put some pressure, but he's been able to evade it, and looks like Brian Davis is going to call a timeout.
I think
maybe
it's West Brunswick. Yeah. Yep, and probably a good decision. Trojan defense looking a little gassed after that play. Carter Wyatt missed Green in the backfield and kind of fell to his knees, maybe gasping for air. It's going to be, Jay, it's really about 3rd and a yard and a half. The ball marked either right at or just shy of the 5-yard line, and it looks like the Scorpions need the 3.5 yard marker for a first down. The good news for the Scorpions, a field goal doesn't give you a whole lot right here. So you got to think they're thinking 2 plays to get a yard and a half here.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you 100%. And the way they've looked on this particular drive, I would say they got a good shot of doing that, particularly with Green and his escapability, if you will. He's taking some shots out there tonight, but he keeps popping up. And
he sure does.
Being a tough guy to bring down. So good call by the West staff, kind of reset things here and remind them of the situation and the importance here to be sure with their tackling. A lot of hitting going on out there, but
still got to bring them to the turf.
Exactly, you got to bring them down. Blocking, tackling. That's what Coach Hickman says you got to do.
10:09 left in the game. West Brunswick 14, North Brunswick 0. It's a 3rd and 2 from the 5-yard line. North with a man in motion.
Green's in.
And he is in. R.J. Green with a draw around the left side, crosses the goal line for a North Brunswick touchdown. A Trojan lost their helmet on the play, and it looks like North Brunswick's going to bring on its extra point team and try for the point after here to make it a 7-point game. So R.J. Green, a 5-yard touchdown run on the zone read play, and North Brunswick in one of those funky extra point formations now lines up in a more traditional set.
And Sam, it's number 80 that's their place kicker.
Abraham?
Yeah, I wanted you to say that before I took a swing at it.
So Abraham will try to make it a 7-point game, and Jay, he can't. And boy, oh boy, that's a huge missed extra point there. If you're the Trojans, you have to feel good about that stop, as now it's an 8-point game, and a touchdown and 2-point conversion can only tie you. But boy, North Brunswick got the ball back down 14-0, pretty much faced with a situation where they really needed a score, had to have a score, and that's exactly what R.J. Green gave them.
And this is reminiscent of what they did last week against Ashley, Sam, when they were trailing at the half, trailing well into the 3rd quarter, and then boom, 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 put 3 scores on the board real quick and picked up their first win of the season. So you got to credit Coach Davis and his staff for, keeping the kids up, keeping them in this game, and no quit. They had a punch in the nose there on that second touchdown from West Brunswick, but they answered well and answered very quickly, and despite missing the extra point, have closed
right back in this one, partner.
Yeah.
Right back in this one.
And they'll have the wind at their back here in the 4th quarter, which makes things a wee bit easier, both throwing and kicking.
No doubt. And apparently if you're R.J. Green running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, he is a good player.
Yeah, he's a very athletic quarterback for sure, not unlike Monzel Campbell for West Brunswick.
You got to wonder here if West Brunswick is preparing for maybe an onside kick attempt.
Still thinking.
I know there's plenty of time left, but, you know, maybe one of those squibbers. Nope, Abraham sends it flying deep, and West has no one there. Oh, it was blown dead. Offside, so North Brunswick will now have to kick from its own 35-yard line. And, boy, a tough break there for North Brunswick because Abraham kicked it to no man's land, and it was going to be a couple of it was going to take Magby 2 or 3 seconds to even get over to the ball, and now North Brunswick will have to kick it again from 5 yards back.
And chances are, at least West, an opportunity presented to him to come out of this with real good field position to start this, what could be a very important drive possession.
So Magby and J.J. Cobb kind of back deep. Cobb more angled toward the sideline over there by the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Sam, West has got kids. They got speed. I mean, that's one of the real differences with this year's team compared to maybe last. And, you know, you got a couple of them back there now, and Magby and Cobb. You know, you just can't help but think, wow, is this the one? Are they going to run it back, right? Let's see.
That one high, end over end. Cobb fields it cleanly. Running back toward the middle of the field. Still on his feet, Jay. Somehow he's being carried by a teammate. Still on his feet. Finally wrestled down at about the 43-yard line. How does a kid that size stay on his feet for that long? And I don't know who it was, but he literally had a teammate helping carry him across midfield and deep into North Brunswick territory.
Well, I got to be honest with you now. I just got finished saying, isn't it time for one of these athletes to use their speed? And I call out Cobb at 5'6", $160, not thinking that he's going to be a power back.
And it was his strength that was really highlighted on that play.
But nevertheless, gives the Trojans excellent field position to start out this possession.
So 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of North Brunswick. West Brunswick leads 14-6. True Robinson on the carry, dropped right at the line of scrimmage. We'll give him a yard to the 42, which will bring up a 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line of the Scorpions.
You know what I like about True on that play, Sam? He had both those arms wrapped around that ball. You weren't going to get it away.
As Coach Hickman used to say when he was in the college coaching ranks, ball security is job security. For the coaches and the players.
And the players, yeah, well said, man. I'll tell you, you can't overvalue possession of the ball. You just have to hang on to it.
Play clock all the way down to about 5 seconds. False start.
That's probably going to go against West.
And, Jay, that's another example of West Brunswick just taking a long time getting lined up. And by the time, you know, it was time for a man to come in motion, you're running out of time. The play clock's running down. It just everything feels hurried, and they're just out of sync, period.
That's the word I was going to use, Sam. A little, just for whatever reason, a little out of sync here this evening. And I'm not totally sure why, but it gosh, they hurt you. Those doggone penalties like that take away any kind of momentum that you might have.
And probably more importantly, Jay, instead of a 2nd and 9, which is already tough sledding, you're looking at a 2nd and 14 from about the 47.
Right now you got to come up with a big play.
Campbell around the edge, still on his feet. Monzel Campbell, he's gone. The 10, 5, touchdown. Trojans, Jay, flag on the field. We've got a flag on the field, which may negate the West Brunswick touchdown.
Well, it looks like it is going to go against the Trojans, Sam. That was the big play we talked about, but unfortunately, he's going to come back.
Going to be a holding penalty, it looks like.
And Sam, you know what? Except for some unfortunate procedural calls on both teams tonight, this has been a fairly well-played game. Not any real, there have been a couple of penalties that illegal hit. One comes to mind, but maybe the first holding call of the night and comes at a very, very difficult time for West Brunswick.
Boy, Jay, so it was 2nd and 14. Now the Trojans need, let's see, 12 from the 50 and 5 more. It's going to be 2nd and 17 from West Brunswick's own 45-yard line. And, Jay, this is after the initial kick return got it all the way to North's 43.
Yeah, well, clearly West heading the wrong they're going north and south, but unfortunately going more south than north, right? So
2nd and 21, rather. Again, my math skills on full display here tonight.
Well, we are cold. That's going to be picked off.
Yep. Campbell forced one up into traffic, and it was picked off by number 2, Seth DeLuey, and returned out near the 45-yard line. So literally moments ago, looked like a 47-yard touchdown by Monzel Campbell would extend the lead back to 2 possessions. Instead, North Brunswick gets the ball right back and at its own 44-yard line with a chance to go drive and tie the game.
Well, you know, probably one Monzel would like back, but nevertheless, Seth DeLuey with an alert play and the interception. And look, we still got a ball game here. Plenty of time to go. 8:23 here in the 4th quarter.
And now the probably a tired West Brunswick defense has to go chase R.J. Green around some more. But North's going to just hand it off up the middle. Good yardage there on 1st down. About 8 yards on the gain. Carter Wyatt there on the tackle. Ball marked down at about the 48-yard line. So 8 yards sets up a 2nd and 2. And, Jay, now suddenly it's the West Brunswick defense on its heels a little bit with less than 8 minutes to go in the game, and the Trojans just clinging to an 8-point lead.
Well, you know, we talk about the potential explosiveness of some of the West kids, the speed. Well, you know, North has got athletes, and they've got kids that can bust out on you, and the young man that just ran that ball, Willis, is one of them.
Tate Davis, the man in motion. Green rolls out to his left. He's looking deep. Malachi Hewitt with some great coverage down the field on Jaden Granda. So the pass falls incomplete. But, Jay, let me just tell you, and I know I'm not the analyst here, but I love that call on 2nd and short. Because you got to think at this point of the field, you're still thinking 2 plays, you know, to pick up 2 yards. So I like North Brunswick taking a shot there.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, were it not for a fine play by Hewitt that time, they may have been successful. Not a badly thrown ball, and Granda gives you a pretty good target, but Mal Hewitt back for good defensive coverage. And there's Willis.
Yep, a good kind of hanging on for dear life tackle there, but Marquise Willis had enough yardage for the 1st down, and he's coming up a little lame here with 7:22 left to go in the game. He bounced back up, but being helped off the field by the North Brunswick training staff. And boy, if you're watching from your easy chair at home, I hope it's got a seat belt. This one's getting tight here in Charlotte.
Yeah, and unfortunately it looks like Willis is getting some attention out there in the field. That tackle that time by Tyleek Webb, a 6-foot junior for West Brunswick. Cold night, Sam.
How your feet feeling, partner?
My toes are just a wee bit frozen, I think, since like the 1st quarter, but otherwise I'm okay.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Darius is going to kill me because she said, make sure you get this, you wear that, you wear this, and I'm okay, except my feet with 2 pairs of socks. And
likewise.
How many you got on?
3.
Okay.
Now 2 of them are footies, which probably wasn't my smartest move, but I have another long pair, and Jay, I'm fine everywhere else. Hands are fine, head, ears, I'm good there, but boy, my feet are just about frozen.
Well, you know, hey, look, this is what you do when you come to the beach in the south, like I did.
Yeah, right. You should be prepared for this humidity.
Who would have thunk it, you know? What is today anyway? March to something,
19th.
Right? Okay. And it's cool in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was talking to my daughter up in Leesburg, whose son plays football. Well, actually, he's on the IR right now, unfortunately, and hope Mike's getting better quick. But they were calling for in the 20s tonight. They got a game. They're playing a spring schedule up there as well. So, hey, there's Marquise Willis walking off the field under his own power, which is a good sign for North and even a better sign for Marquise. So let's see what Green can do here on this 1st and 10.
The Scorpions with a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. 7:22 left in the game. Should be running the game clock, but it wasn't. And Green, Jay, again, once again, almost the entire defense there, and just can't bring them down. Just not West Brunswick's finest tackling exhibition here tonight.
Well, the kids are working hard. They're trying, but they're just not, you know, we talk about this in basketball, like finishing the play. They're not finishing the tackle, and they're going to have to do it, or Green's going to make you pay.
No doubt about it, partner. Oh, he's under pressure, and he's not going to miss him. Who do we have here? 18, Tripp. Hardy brings down Green for a loss of about 5 or 6 yards. And, boy, North Brunswick was on the move there. That's a huge, huge play by the senior linebacker who, Jay, has split time this spring between football and lacrosse. Hardy, a member of the West Brunswick boys lacrosse team that will play in the 3rd round of the playoffs.
They're still playing, yes.
Yep, for a spot in the Eastern Finals.
That's excellent, and an excellent play. We talk about not finishing, but Tripp finished that time. 20 tackles coming into tonight. You can add to that now.
3rd and 8. Green steps up, kind of stiff arms a defender away, fires a pass. I think they're going to get West Brunswick for a roughing the passer penalty.
It looked like Webb had pressure on Green. Green evades him, releases the ball, and then we'll have to let the officials. Oh, what do they call it?
What?
Well,
he made an intentional grounding symbol, but
I think
maybe did he mean personal foul, late hit?
I don't know, but it looks like that penalty is going to go against West. And here again, our continued discussion of the how penalties hurt you. And Sam, it's a big one, a real big one.
Jay, I'm assuming he meant late hit. Or personal foul of some sort, but instead of incomplete pass and it being 4th and 8, North Brunswick now has a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of the Trojans. Exactly 6 minutes left to go in the game, and North Brunswick 25 yards away from pulling within 2, and in a 2-point conversion away from knotting this game up at 14.
Wow. Different kind of runner when you put 23 Kenton Stafford in the backfield, Sam. Stafford, who plays.
Oh yeah, different kind of animal there, isn't he?
Linebacker and a big-time hitter, and now he's carrying the football, and that's a different kind of cat you got to bring down. And we got a flag.
Offsides penalty will be a automatic 1st down. Boy, the West Brunswick defense just kind of falling apart at the seams here on the last 2 possessions.
And a lot of the falling apart at the seams have been because of penalties, right? So a 1st down for the Scorps and, the Never Say Die North Brunswick Scorpions, who now are developing this will come from behind mentality, are trying to do it again here in Charlotte tonight.
So a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line of the Trojans. 5.5 minutes left to go in the game. Oh, he had it right in his belly and dropped it. And, boy, Jay, I think North Brunswick had it blocked pretty well. If number 7, Nathan Assad, could have come down with that catch. It looked like he had at least 5 or 6 yards and maybe even more. And Green put it right on him. Assad just couldn't quite corral it. 2nd and 10 from the 14.
It looked like there were a lot more white shirts than green shirts around Assad that time, so he probably would have picked up some positive yards for sure.
2nd and 10 from the 14. 5:26 left. Assad in motion and then kind of retreats. and North Brunswick wants a timeout as the play clock was running down. So 5:26 left to go in the game. West Brunswick 14, North Brunswick 6. Ball at the 14-yard line. Jay, just an odd game. When West Brunswick scored its second touchdown to go up 14-0, at the time, North Brunswick's offense hadn't managed much of anything, and the last two drives, the Scorpions have moved it down the field, I don't want to say easily, but rather methodically against the Trojan D, and then this one aided by a pair of West Brunswick penalties.
Yeah, and look, this is a this is a young team. This being North Brunswick, as you're looking into the huddle right now. 2 years before Coach, 2019 they were 6-6, but 2 years prior they were 3-19. Right, so clearly last year, in 2019 season, they made a very good step forward, and it looks like they're continuing to make that progress here in 2021.
Green in the shotgun, fires a pass intended for Tate Davis, but Green was under some heavy pressure there by, I think, 41 Skipper and 35 primarily Mikey Smith.
Yeah.
That'll set up a 3rd and 10 from the 14-yard line.
A good time for Skipper and Smith to, put some pressure on Green. And I don't know if he and Davis were on the same page on that particular play, but it does set up another 3rd down situation for the Scorps.
Empty backfield, and Willis is back in. Slot receiver down at the bottom of the formation. Green takes off, tries to loft it to a receiver, but it falls to the turf, incomplete. And Jay, kind of a no-brainer, if you will, here. 4th and 10, you're down by 8. You got the ball at the 14-yard line, so it's do or die time for the North Brunswick offense. And West Brunswick a stop away from getting the ball back with about 5 minutes left, up by 8. Late in the game, and for the first time tonight, the Trojan faithful trying to make some noise and urge on the defense.
Well, somebody's got to make a big play here. It's either going to be an offensive big play or a defensive big play. It could very well.
Timeout, North Brunswick. Head coach Brian Davis kind of walked a couple yards onto the field and signaled for a timeout to the official on his side. Jay, what do you have to be cognizant of if you're the West Brunswick defense? Are you still worried about Green beating you with his legs?
Sure, and potentially with his arm. I mean, he's thrown the ball well on a few occasions tonight, but you got to keep him contained, Sam, and you've got to probably try to make him go north and south more than east and west. And for the most part, the Trojans have done a pretty good job of putting pressure on Green all night long, but it's kind of that, they squeeze you a little bit and then let you pop out. And he's been good at popping out here tonight. They're going to have to, West Brunswick going to have to try to keep him popped in on this play. And, of course, at North Brunswick, just the opposite. They want the young junior who's played so well here tonight, R.J. Green, to continue to try to make something out of nothing, and a lot of times that's what he's been able to do. But that's what a lot of times in football, that's what it comes down to. You got special players, certain players that you look to in certain situations, and I'm pretty sure that North Brunswick's going to be looking to R.J. Green to come up with a play here.
I think North Brunswick is down to 1 second-half timeout. The scoreboard shows that each team has one remaining. Here it is, 4th and 10 from the 14-yard line. It's a fade route, and it's batted down. A big-time play from senior cornerback Malachi Hewitt. A big-time play, one-on-one coverage against Tate Davis. And, boy, the Trojans dodged one that time. The defense came up huge when it had to have a play. And, Jay, maybe not a better player other than Carter Wyatt on the defense to make one than last year, an honorable mention all-conference performer in the senior cornerback, Mal Hewitt.
Yeah, Mal was there that time, and that's a good battle with him and Davis. Good matchup, 2 seniors, 2 veterans, both experienced players. And that time, Mal Hewitt, right place, right time.
Magby kind of busted out from the line of scrimmage there, but he was marked down about 2 yards back from where he ended up at the the 17-yard line. So a gain of 3 on first down will set up a 2nd and 7 from the 17. Now, here's a situation, Jay, where I think West Brunswick might want to bleed a little play clock in between snaps.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The time is important. It could be an ally for West Brunswick here.
It's going to be motion.
I was going to say, unless this is the Canadian Football League, I think we're going to have to do that one over.
Just killers, partner.
Yep, all
2nd
night
and
long.
7. Look like you might have a play there if you can get the snap off and, you know, your tight end or right tackle jumps early, and instead you got a 2nd and 12 from back at your about 12-yard line.
And they hurt. They add up. And wait a minute, which way are we going? Here we go.
So 2nd and 12. The clock will stop because of the penalty.
See Locke Murphy, number 5, back there on the right, hopping up and down like a pogo stick. I don't know what Locke's doing.
Probably trying to stay warm.
Stay warm, yeah.
I can't even feel below my knees right now.
It's pretty chilly out here.
So 4.5 minutes left. Campbell's just going to carry it around the right side. Pretty good job flushing him out
nice
by North
hit.
Brunswick. And Jay runs out of bounds.
That's that Yulman, whatever Tim's name is.
Yuleman,
big time pop.
So I'm told.
Time. Okay. Well, I got to remember that one because he's going to be in on a lot of stops here before his senior season's over.
So 4:21 left, and Jay, the one opportunity West Brunswick did have was to run 3 plays, stay in bounds, and at least chew up a couple minutes off the clock. Instead, they've only been able to get about 50 seconds off of this clock because of the penalty and Campbell running out of bounds, and the Trojans have a 3rd and 10 from their own 14-yard line.
And they're going to kick into the wind, Sam, if indeed they have to punt. So chances are North's going to have a shot, and we got something else going on.
Timeout.
Okay.
So West Brunswick, with 4:21 left on the game clock, wants a timeout before this critical 3rd and 10 play at their own 14-yard line. Partner, do you think West Brunswick puts it in the air?
Wow. You know what? What I was going to say is simply this. Regardless of what they do here, they want to make sure that they don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Because the last thing you want to do is give the ball to North here, out inside the 20-yard line. So, Sam, we've talked about this over our time together. 3 things can happen when you throw the football.
2 are bad.
2 of them ain't no good if you're throwing. So I would think that perhaps they may want to play it safe here and take advantage perhaps of, maybe a kid like Cobb. Or if you're going to throw, it's going to be a pretty, I think, safe pass for sure.
So West Brunswick 14, North Brunswick 6. 4:21 left in the game. West Brunswick faces a 3rd and 10 from its own 14-yard line. Monzel Campbell, Jay, I believe he got enough. I believe he got just enough for a West Brunswick first down, and if so, what a huge 11-yard run by Monzel Campbell with 4:13 left to go in the game. They faked the little pop pass speed sweep to J.J. Cobb. Campbell had a little opening, a little crease there, and just fought his way for that last yard or two. And, Jay, that game clock can get all the way down to close to 3:35 here. Well, about 3:40 before West Brunswick will have to snap it. Campbell looking over to the sideline. Head coach Brett Hickman has his hand up and then kind of giving Campbell the go-ahead when he's ready for him to run the play. Here's the snap.
Oh, nice hit. But not nice enough.
Yep, not nice enough. Magby stayed on his feet.
And why is the clock stopped?
There's a flag, partner.
Okay.
I couldn't see it.
Maybe kind of a high tackle that time. I don't know.
A face mask there. Personal foul,
Yep.
face mask on the defense. Wow, West Brunswick catches a huge break there. So instead of a loss of 1 or 2 yards, it's going to be a personal foul face mask penalty against North Brunswick. And, Jay, that's going to move the ball up close to the 40-yard line with 3:31 left in the contest.
Well, once again, the penalty, Sam, the mistakes, football games, generally speaking, are lost, not won, and many, many times they're lost because of errors, mental errors, physical errors, all kinds of mistakes are made. So this game has been plagued here this evening by a good number of penalties that have had some impact on the game for sure.
Jay, even if West Brunswick can't get any positive yardage, the main objective here, protect the football at all costs. North Brunswick, only with 1 timeout left, can only stop the clock once the remainder of the way. So Campbell fakes the little swing pass to the outside. And, Jay, you can see the North Brunswick coaches instructing the defense. I know I'm not on camera. You can't see me, but they're telling them, hold them up and rip the ball, trying to do anything they can to get the ball back here at MH Rourke Stadium. Game clock down to 2:45, play clock at 20, so West could get the clock down to about the 2:28, 2:29, 2:30 mark before snapping this ball. It's 2nd and 7 at the West Brunswick 41. Game clock all the way down to 5. Campbell in the shotgun. Magby still on his feet, fighting for yardage. And, Jay, that's huge because now West Brunswick is only 2 yards away from getting a first down. And if they can't ice it with 1 more first down, it's awfully close.
Well,
So
they got enough points to win, Sam. So, it's getting that last 2 minutes off this clock that they need to do.
Again, ball security, the main objective here. But if West Brunswick could somehow pick up 2 yards on this 3rd down play, I think mathematically that would all but do it, assuming they can handle the center quarterback exchange. Campbell barking instructions to his tight end. He gets the snap, hands it off up the middle. Magby Jay's going to be short. They're signaling 4th down. And let's see, did North just use its last timeout? Or do they want a measurement?
Well, it's look at a
timeout.
The
last timeout.
Yeah, and that was 44. Anthony Martell's in on the stop. So 1:34 to go. 14-6 West. It's kind of. Well, what do you do, Sam? You go ahead and grind it out here, or do you punt it away?
No, I think you got to kick this one away and make them go at least almost the length of the field. But, Jay, I don't know.
You're kicking into the wind.
Only reason I see that is because I see Carter Wyatt and Trip Hardy out there, and Michael Simpson, who otherwise aren't offensive players. Jay, I wonder if on the punt team, West Brunswick has some kind of hard count in an attempt to draw North offsides. Do you think from the defensive standpoint that North tries to block the punt, or do they play it safe and just set up a return perhaps?
Well, both good points on both. And what West wants to make sure is they get this kick off regardless of how far it goes. And you like having a senior back there to handle this situation. You got an excellent long snapper and sophomore Weston Sharp.
So 1:34 left in the game. I think both teams out of timeouts. 4th and 1. North Brunswick trying to get the ball back for one last crack at tying the ball game. It's a good snap. Murphy with a end-over-end kick. Takes kind of a, in-between bounce. Finally stopped at about the 23-yard line. So a good punt by Murphy. Took off 9 seconds off the game clock. And, Jay, here we go. West Brunswick had a chance on 3rd and 2 to really ice the game. Couldn't convert. And R.J. Green and the North Brunswick Scorpions are going to get one more chance at it. Down by 8 with 1:25 left in the contest.
I'm looking at number 11, safety Johnny Magby, who's, he came up to the 40. I thought he may hang out around midfield. All right, he's up inside the 40 now. But you got to keep the North players in front of you if you're West.
Yep, got to keep everything in front of you. R.J. Green just rolling out, being chased by Hussein. Fires it deep. He's got a man, partner.
Wow.
Is caught. The receiver got alone. Johnny Magby's hurt.
To Louis with the catch and a great throw that time under pressure by Green. And they're still alive, Sam.
Yeah, and now plenty of time left. 1:14 left to go in the game. North has a 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line, and Locke Murphy's going to have to come into the game for Johnny Magby. So now your 3-year starter at free safety is out of the game, and Murphy, who's certainly capable but not played a whole lot of defense, inserted into the lineup.
He's going to learn it real quick because they're going to be coming out there after him.
Oh, I thought we had a false start down on this end, partner. He's got him.
That's Willis with the catch.
Caught by Marquise Willis and West Brunswick. Boy, Jay, North Brunswick's all the way down to the 22, and I don't even think 20 seconds have gone by off the clock.
And they're up over the ball, ready to move. And that's
false start.
False start, I think.
Jay, they're getting a head start. The second consecutive play that a receiver here at the bottom of the screen just kind of took off entirely too early, but I still don't see a flag on the field, Jay.
They didn't call anything. They all stopped. I guess they
no flag.
No flag.
Maybe there was a whistle before anything happened. I'm not sure, but there's 57 seconds left, and North has a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Now the clock is running. Green in the shotgun, fires it out. It's deflected off the hands of the receiver, falls to the turf, incomplete. Will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 22-yard line with 48 seconds left to go in the game.
Tell you what, that had some mustard on it that time, so much that Tate Davis, who's a very reliable receiver, couldn't bring it in. So 2nd and 10, 48 to go.
Ball at the 22-yard line. North Brunswick down by 8.
Plenty of time. He's buying time, and he throws it away. Nice play.
Throws it away. Good coverage over on the far side by number 20, Malachi Hewitt. Monzel Campbell also in the game on defense, Jay, in the defensive backfield, playing safety along with Locke Murphy. So now it's a 3rd and 10 with 40 seconds left. 3rd and 10. 40 seconds left. Ball placed at the 22-yard line of West Brunswick. Trip Hardy comes back into the game for Corbin Skipper. R.J. Green in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Green looks to his right, fires a swing pass out. Pass is caught, and Jay, the clock's going to keep running. The clock's going to keep running, and North Brunswick's going to have a 4th down, and they're going to have to do it in kind of a hurry. It's going to be 4th and 11 from the 23-yard line. Green looking for a receiver, flings it up toward the end zone. Oh, wow, they threw a flag.
No. Oh, my gosh, Sam.
Threw a flag on number 20, Malachi Hewitt. Boy, oh, boy.
A smart play by Green that time, and who I guess Davis was the intended receiver. You throw it up and see if you can't bring it down or get a penalty or whatever. But if this goes against West.
Yep, it's going to be 1st and goal at about the 12 or 11 with 17 seconds left to go in the game.
Still haven't made the call, have they?
Nope, haven't seen a call from the official.
Well, wait a minute.
And the result of the play was an incomplete pass. So if there's no flag, partner, then
well, they're moving.
Now they're moving it up. Okay.
Still haven't seen the signal. We can only assume that it's pass interference against West Brunswick.
Yep, and ball's marked at the 11-yard line.
17 seconds, 17.1 seconds to go to be accurate. The white hat's pointing at somebody.
And Jay, I still never saw a signal over to the, they usually face the scoreboard side.
Tell you what it is, yeah.
Tell you what it is, but
he's telling you
it was a DPI call on Malachi Hewitt.
Well, he's telling you it's a North Brunswick 1st down. But beyond that, I'm not sure.
All kinds of confusion.
Anyway, North Brunswick lives for another 17 seconds.
Jay, I think there's some question if the half the distance to the goal yardage was enough for the first down there. The chains are showing first down, but I'm wondering if this is what the conversation is about. He is signaling first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, 17 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, it comes down to who's going to make a play, Sam. Who's going to make a play for North or for West?
R.J. Green gets the snap, rolls to his left, fires a pass. Jay, it's caught, and that means the clock will continue to run. We're all the way under 8 seconds.
They got to
7
clock it.
seconds,
They got to clock it.
5 seconds,
There you go.
Green clocks it, and 2.8 seconds are left on the game clock. It looks like North Brunswick is going to have one play, a second down from the 8-yard line. If North Brunswick scores, it will get a chance to convert a 2-point conversion to tie the game. If West Brunswick stops them and the play isn't the fastest play in history, the game will be over and West Brunswick will escape with a victory. 2.8 seconds left. North Brunswick ball, second down at the 8-yard line.
Got to throw it to the end
Green
zone.
gets the snap. Carter Wyatt's there. He still fires it up. Incomplete, and the Trojans hang on for the victory. Number 44, Carter Wyatt, got home, had Green under wraps. Green couldn't get away, and it was not pretty, but it was a win for the West Brunswick Trojans, who improved to 3-1 on the 2021 season with a dramatic, sloppy, up and down roller coaster 14-6 win over the North Brunswick Scorpions. Jay, break down that final sequence for us.
Wow, there were a lot of things going on, but we said, you know, somebody's got to make a big play, and when you look for big plays, you look for big players, and Carter came through for West that time. Look, take nothing away from the job that Green did here this evening for North Brunswick. He kept them in a game that it appeared they had really no business being in, and there you go with 2.8 seconds to go. They got a shot to maybe tie the game, but Wyatt makes the big play. West gets out of here with a, you said sloppy, I'd say not a very pretty win, but, you know, pretty effective, right, as you you look up on their record now at 3-1, and they really needed, you know, the last 4 games of the year for West, they're 3A games, right? I mean, they got to control their own destiny, I suppose, by virtue of the schedule they have in front of them. They had to get by this first one tonight.
Last 3 games for West.
Yeah, and you know, just they put up a really, really, really good effort, did North here this evening. They just fell a little short.
Jay, let me make a statement. I'll get your response to it. West Brunswick, 27-0 losers last week at Hoggard, and then, you know, had some flashes of solid execution tonight, but overall, you know, not their best. I'm not sure I've ever been more concerned about a 3-1 team in the history of West Brunswick football. It's 2 weeks in a row the Trojans just haven't really got their footing, and they're going to Topsville next week, and we've seen what Topsville and Gavin Ellis are capable of. Specifically to West Brunswick, where do the Trojans go from here moving forward?
Well, look, this wasn't as much a West Brunswick, how well they played tonight versus a North Brunswick team that shot themselves in the foot a few times, but it's just a much better team when you get North in here on your schedule now. This is, you know you're going to have to play 4 quarters of football, and that's exactly what West had to do here this evening with 2.8 seconds left in the game. The game was still in doubt, but you see Brett Hickman there talking to the kids. Sam, they're 3-1. And at the end of the day, you know, you want to win. They won tonight. They look at the film. They get ready for Ellis and company, which they're good. We had them last week against South, and Ellis is the real deal. As people have said, you have a Division I player. You put the ball in his hands as many times as you can and let him do things. And trust me, he can do things. So West will have to prepare really well for a tough Topsville team next week.
Jay, a huge highlight from tonight that we haven't talked a whole lot about. It was another Friday night I got to spend beside you calling high school football, and for that, for me, is a victory. It was fun. A lot of high school football action going on, Jay. You did a game last Tuesday. You did one Saturday alone. You were back here at MH Rourke Stadium tonight. Have you had enough yet?
No, but I will tell you this. It is so much better when Sam Hickman is doing the play-by-play, the voice of Brunswick County sports. And so just great to be along. And again, as you look down at the North Brunswick team, these kids are getting good, right? Brian Davis has got something going up in Leland, and they're gonna beat some teams. Probably going to beat some teams before this season's over. But congratulations to the Scorps, and certainly congratulations to the Trojans tonight for a hard-earned win.
And remember, we'll be back next week for some ATMC TV football action. I think my boss, Nathan Evers, is telling me that we will have North next week against, Jay, guess who? The Hoggard Vikings. So no rest for the weary. North Brunswick and Brian Davis are 1-2 and have the Mid-Eastern Conference favorite coming to town. So lots of critical Mid-Eastern Conference action right around the corner. And guess what? We'll have a lot of it right here for you on ATMC TV. For Aaron Varnum and Nathan Evers, he's Jay Combs. I'm Sam Hickman. West Brunswick hangs on for dear life in a 14-6 win over North Brunswick. Trojans improve to 3-1. North Brunswick falls to 1-2. And we will see you next time on ATMC TV.